Hello all, Zingier Barbecue here, and I am here to continue my series of healing druid builds. Last build I made was a full spirit build, which focused on more healing over times and passive buffs. Just everything that spirits can offer, more condition damage, more power. This build is my new favorite healing build I've ever played because this build focuses on not only that high healing that my last build had, but now with damage mitigation for my team. So let's start out by going over my build, and then I'll go over my equipment, and then my pets of choice and my skills. I go into nature magic because I'm using 3 spirits. You gain regeneration when you go below half health, just to sustain you. Your revive effectiveness is increased by 10%, and then every 68 seconds when you revive someone, your pet helps you revive them. So in a raid or fractal or dungeon or whatever you're doing, and one ally does go down once in a while, you can revive that person super fast. It's very effective. Fortifying Bond, any boon I get, my pet also gets. Just a little bit of survivability or damage boosts for my pets. Vigorous Training, every time I swap pets, my allies get Vigor. I almost have a permanent uptime on Vigor, but I don't think it's quite up to that. Very close. And since this is a more of a Beastmaster build, as you can see I'm going into Beast Mastery, swapping pets is a little easier. Boons applied by me and my pet last longer. That's very good since we run spirits. We have quite a bit of boons going out, and our pets also have boons. So this is very, very good little trait. Nature's Vengeance, along with those boons, all of our spirits give boons, have increased health, and their active effects have increased radius by 50%. This is very good because I run quite a bit of boon duration. These boons are gonna be almost permanent. Beast Mastery. This is not one you see often in a healing build. Usually you'll see a skirmishing, but since this is less of a conventional build, I thought, I wanted to be more involved with like a ranger. Like a ranger has to do with his pet. And my old build and the one I'm doing next doesn't really have to do with your pet, and it makes me sad. This one has a lot to do with your pet. Pack Alpha. Your pet is more powerful and their skills recharge faster. So my pet has more damage, more crit chance, more armor, and more health. Very, very strong. And all of his abilities, not just his active, have a 20% reduction. I get Resounding Timbre. I don't really know how to say that. Anyways, I do run 2 shouts, and those have a reduced cooldown by 20%, and they give regen and swiftness. Loud Whistle. When my health is above 90%, my pet deals 10% more damage. And my swapping pets has a reduced cooldown, which is very nice because sometimes that reduction in swapping pets is just what you needed to keep your pets alive. And if your pet does die, the cooldown of that pet is also lowered. It doesn't say that, but I guess that's considered swapping pets. My pet gains natural health regen and has increased healing power. I'll go over why that is important in a little bit, at least the pet healing power, but the health per second is good because you want your pet to stay alive because he is almost the most important thing in this build. Pet's Prowess. My pet moves faster and deals more damage on crits. Just, good for the pet. Zephyr's Speed. Every time I swap pets, me and my pet gain quickness and might. This is pretty good. You have permanent 3 stacks of might. It's not too good for you. The quickness is nice for extra healing because I run a staff, and I'm not going to go over my staff skills or my avatar skills. You can look those up pretty easily, or even my last video. Then I go Druid. For Druid, I take Druid Clarity, or you can take Primal Echoes. I take Druid Clarity because sometimes I get CC'd, and I do have a stun break, and if that's down and I need to heal someone, popping Avatar will stun break me and cure my conditions and allow me to heal my party up. I think it's very important. Live vicariously. When I heal an ally, I am also healed. This is just a little buff for my survivability to keep my health up so I can get my pet more damage. Celestial Shadow. Every time I leave my avatar form, I give me and 4 allies around me stealth and super speed. This helps ranged units reposition, or have 3 seconds of I can just sit here and wait until my heal's up or whatever. If they need to get out of dodge. Sometimes it's very useful, sometimes it's not, but since I don't run glyphs, this is useless, and this is more useful for PvP. I can see it being useful, but since I'm more about helping the team, I take Celestial Shadow. Natural Mender, this equates to pretty much just 20% more outgoing healing, because you're going to be having this up to 10 stacks almost permanently. Sorry about that. And then I take Lingering Light, and this is every 12 seconds, my allies next attack heals them for 877 and blinds the opponent. This is good for just topping people off, making sure people are topped off, and this goes well with one of my spirits. So on hit, they'll be healing quite a bit. Yeah, rhymed. Equipment, I have Magi armor and weapons with superior runes of the monk, and I have full cleric jewelry, and I don't have full ascended yet. I just got this character to 80 like a week ago. On my weapon, I take superior sigil of transference for increased healing, and I take a platinum doubloon for my boons. I was experimenting with superior sigil of water, and that little extra heal every 5 seconds just didn't seem like much when I have so much healing. I just decided more boon duration would go along better with this playstyle in particular. Let's go over the pets I chose. I choose a blue Moa for its protection. It's the reason that I have permanent protection with this build. So I keep him out most. And when I need to either swap it out because he's dying, or if there's a bar that needs breaking, I take my pink Moa for a 2-second daze, which really helps with break bar. And then I'll swap right back and keep up this protection every 19 seconds. So I chose Moas not only because of those 2 actives, but remember when they had more healing power? This helps their harmonic cry. Every 30 seconds, they'll give they'll heal in an area for a substantial amount, about 3,373 health. That is a lot. In a clutch situation, especially since you have 2 of the pets, that's like 6,000, about 700 healing. That's a lot. So that's why I take Moas. They're tanky, which goes along with more skills down here. So I take Water Spirit, which along with the trait I took for Shouts, that gives regen. This gives our party permanent regen. Very, very strong. Permanent regen that ticks for about like 460-ish. Maybe not quite that much yet, but when I have all my healing up, yeah, it's going to tick for quite a bit. And every 10 seconds, they gain an on-hit effect that heals them for 863. Which, as we saw, 863 plus 877 is about 900 or to 1,000 healing every 10 seconds just from auto-attacking. I think that's very good. I'm going to skip over this skill and go to my Stone Spirit. You have a chance on hit to get protection, and it also pulses protection every 3 seconds. So this, along with my Moa, keeps up permanent protection. When I was trying to do this build, I didn't take a Stone Spirit, and I didn't notice my ability Guard, which reduces damage by 33% for 6 seconds for my group. I was really trying to wonder why would I do this? Well, if I already have this 33% damage reduction, like all the time, and I get even more when I pop this. I save guard for when I see the boss charging up a big hit, and my party knows that, hey, I have guard up, you don't need to dodge. Like, you can just take this hit and I will heal you. It keeps the DPS uptime so high, it will save groups from just getting smashed, because you have protection and then you pop guard. And it's quite amusing to see just the team take no damage. I also will use it if my team is getting low and my avatar's on cooldown. It helps them stay alive just long enough for me to pop into avatar form and heal up. So that means with this activated and my protection, they have a 66% damage reduction. Protect Me, I take, this is a 24-second cooldown AoE stun break. That also gives regen, swiftness, and my self-protection. And the next opponent that attacks me gets taunted by my pet. That taunt isn't that good, but the reason I like it is that stun break. There's a stun break glyph right. There it is. It breaks stuns, but only in avatar form. It will have about the same cooldown, but I hate having to be in an avatar form to break stun when I can just equip this skill and break stun. And give regen and swiftness. I just think it's a win-win. And then I take Spirit of Nature. From my last video, I did receive some feedback, and I took it and researched and blah blah blah. And the healing does not scale off of percentage increases. So the Rune of the Monk, Sigil of Transference, your Rice Ball will not increase the healing of your Spirit of Nature at all. But healing power does. So, you know, right now it heals for what it says, 403 a second. 403 a second stacks with regen. It's going to heal for 800 a second for your healing over times. That's a lot. It also will revive allies if too many go down at once. You can just pop it, and it will smash the ground, killing itself, and then reviving those allies and curing conditions. So these spirits, along with this build, will help. And I really recommend this build specifically to teams that don't quite know or quite aren't as experienced in the game as other people, like don't know when to dodge, don't see the people charging attacks. This will help make a bad team succeed or make a great team impossible to kill. Well, I really enjoyed this build, and I'm very excited to show you guys. But I hope you enjoy your gaming experiences and have a great day.